welcome to my channel. I'm the Angry Simmer, and on today's video we're going to be doing something a little different. So I've already built this. We're going to remodel it. It is kind of a mock-up of my grandmother's house in Kentucky. My grandmother has this cute little house, and it's foundations. Just guys, can we please get where we can attach two different heights? Because the whole thing that we can adjust different heights and have different height builds on the same technically level, but we can't connect them is just ridiculous and it's useless. So let's be able to fix this, okay? Anywho, my grandmother is a lot older. I used to live in this house with her actually for a little bit before I moved up to Missouri. But now that she's older, she can't really take care of it as well. So you can kind of see she has somebody come cut the grass, but he doesn't weed eat because his weed eater is broken right now. So, you know, that's not great. But she has a pretty cute little place, and she's not leaving the house to me or anything like that. It's in the family will that it gets sold, and if she's trying to move up here anyways, she might sell it to help pay for you know, her to live here in Missouri. But let's go inside, let's check it out. We're kind of gonna do this as if we were gonna remodel it if she were to leave it to us, or if just like in order for her to do the best for her pocketbook, it's just to leave it as is, because if we remodeled it, it would just cost way too much money. Right through, like right here, there's a lump in the floor in the carpeting. I can't remember for some reason, even though I was just there, what color the walls were in the living room. But she's got like her hospital bed right here because she's gotten older and she can't sleep in her bedroom anymore. And then she's got like a bunch of junk here, but I didn't feel like taking that furniture out. I just kind of put in like her TV, which I need to get her an actual flat screen because she's got a big old huge TV. And then through there's the kitchen, and she has like kind of this cool buffet thing there, which has a TV on it from like the 40s, I think. That doesn't seem right, but and then a galley kitchen, and it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. She's actually got like a pretty decent walk-in closet. If we go into her bedroom, it's fairly big size for the area, I guess. And then like her closet is literally this big. Actually, I think it's deeper than this. Let's see. And then she has like the worst. Oh, hello, Harrie. She's got like the worst bathroom ever. It doesn't actually have the glass, but I couldn't find anything else with a yellow bathtub. And then the fake marble tile that she has, like I remember sitting in there as a kid and like making little faces out of the marble shapes and out of the, oh, I forgot to put a mirror there. Whoops. We're gonna ignore that. But yeah, I remember sitting there and like picking out faces and stuff. And then out of the marble, or the fake marble, and I do the same thing in my bathroom, which would be straight back here, which I did not fill in. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm being so lazy. I'm sorry. And then like through here was my bedroom. I actually had painted the wood paneling blue and pink and green. And my grandmother didn't like that, and whenever I was away one weekend, she just like came in, and her boyfriend just painted it all blue because she's like, no, girl. But you know, it wasn't a huge bedroom, but it did have, she has this really cool vanity there too that's like from the 1800s, which I thought was pretty cool. I can't remember if the doors are white or brown. I'm having a spaced out moment. It like the house used to be brown siding as well, but there was a big storm, and the siding and the roof got ripped off, so had to replace that. She's got a galley kitchen with some, the cabinets are actually brown and the tops are green, but I couldn't find any of my, like, I have tons of CC, and the base game cabinets I always feel like are colored really weird and gross, so you'd think that they'd have, you know, brown with green top, but they don't. So you come out through, and this is the entrance into the garage, which actually does have stairs down into it. And you can either go, let's like lift up like we're an actual person. You can either go outside onto the back porch like so, and she has a cute little like, Harrie, stop logging in and out, okay? I know you're trying to do some stuff, but just no. Anyways, she's got a bunch of stuff like I didn't put in for me to have to clean up because I was already putting in the grass. But she has like a little gazebo and an extra garage over there, and then she's got a little clothing line out there. But she also has in here, she has a full like laundry room out here, which most of her house is just covered in bookshelves that are covered in books. So yeah, I put that in there for her. But like she's actually got like a pretty nice place. The tree over there is a point in contention for me because if you guys, I don't know if they still do this in schools, but on Earth Day we used to get trees to plant, and I always planted mine. And the one year that my little sister actually brought one home and planted it, it's that one. It's the only one that ever grew, and it is literally that tall. And she planted this 15 years ago, I think. So yeah, it makes me sad. My grandmother also used to have like potters or plant pots all over this area, like sitting on these things, and there was like a big trunk off of a pirate ship. Apparently that's what they told us. I'm pretty sure it was just an old hope chest, but it was like leather bound and really cool. But yeah, she had like aloe plants all over the place. It was pretty nice. But now she's getting older, so it's not as nice anymore. And this like thing in here, the pillar that I put in, that's actually, let me do this. Okay. There's actually like a clothing rack across here, and she's got a bunch of old clothes from like whenever I was a kid, and my little sister was a kid and all that stuff just sitting across there that needs to be cleaned out. And then all of this is full of like old bicycles and books and more books and just all kinds of junk. I think my grandfather's tools are still back in this area somewhere, and he passed away in 2001, so there's a clutter issue there. So I'm just going to pretend like I'm getting to remodel this place from the ground up, and we'll go from there because, you know, I want to kind of get a little, like a few moments of just like, it looks prettier now. Because it's never going to happen. We're never going to remodel this place because it just would cost too much money to do so. But hey, you know, it'd be really nice if she actually had that, like, I'm gonna pick this up, if she actually had this little like lake behind her, but actually it's like a big field and then a dollar store, because since I've left, a dollar store went literally like right there from the house. And I used to work there when I was 18, and it was more like, hold on, let me tab this up. It was more like over here. And I walked to it to work. But yeah, so I'm going to stop talking and we're going to remodel. Woohoo! All right, let's get into it. So we are going to remove all of the extra junk that we don't need here. And luckily, while this took me forever, it felt like in actual game time, it took like 3 seconds in here in video time. So yay for speed builds, duh. We're gonna start out on the outside. I tried to add a little visual interest here on the front patio, but that's just, you know, there's only so much you can do. There's only so much CC, so it didn't work out to add that, but I do give kind of a more, I'm going to say, rustic modern update to the house. I use, you know, you guys know what you're dealing with here. I'm obsessed with Joanna Gaines. What else would you expect? But whenever I was a little girl, before my grandfather passed away, my grandmother and I used to just fill these planters all over the garden with flowers, and behind the shed, and I add this back in too, but we had like a vegetable garden. And it was just a really great activity that I got to do with my grandmother, adding these flowers and kind of, you know, taking care of them, learning how to take care of them. And yeah, so I wanted to bring that back. I wanted to put a little like more tropical style over there because that's what she and I actually really love. But it doesn't do super great in the Kentucky clay soil and all of the fun stuff that goes around there. We actually had more of like they're called cyclone fences, I guess, but you know, the chain metal fence back there, and there was a little bit more space, but the lot's not the perfect size for building this, so what can you do? But first thing first, I put in the French oak flooring that you guys know that I love so very much. I think it would brighten up the whole space and kind of help. I can't take down walls here because I know for a fact that there are load-bearing walls, and I'd have to completely remodel the floor plan in order to open up the kitchen and dining room to the living room so that it's completely open plan. So I just kind of do what I can with the kitchen. It's still going to be a galley kitchen at the end of the day, but at least it's a very fabulous galley kitchen with beautiful, you know, oak floors in there. So there we go. And I added some pantry storage there because I just felt like, you know, that's something it needs. There's a ton of cabinets throughout that thing, so why not put in some pantry doors so she has a little bit more storage. And then I didn't feel like curtains fit very well here. They don't in the house right now, so I wanted to add shutters, but it did take me forever to actually find that, and I left that in because usually I cut this sort of stuff out, but for some reason this one felt like I wanted to just kind of bear the whole process with you guys, I guess because honestly, it was really emotional. I already did like a little voiceover where we start to walk into the house once it's done. And yeah, it just, there were some emotions going on, and I mentioned that in there. Also added that awesome black range hood because I thought, you know, if it's galley kitchen, we should just amp it up because it's going to be special. I'm kind of wondering if my grandmother's going to watch this one. She always texts me or calls me. Is like, what's your website called again? Because she's super cute like that. I wanted to add some kind of light and airiness, and I kind of thought about like blowing up some pictures that we've taken down in Florida whenever I was a kid to add to there. That's the whole theme, is just kind of like sort of tropical, or not sort of tropical, but like rustic, beachy, modern. Does that make any sense? I also throughout this remembered little things that I forgot to add in, like there's a closet at the front door. It's a coat closet. You know, houses that were built in the 1950s like this one were kind of good about storage. There's a linen closet and there's a coat closet right there. Yeah, so it's just, you know, it's kind of nice. And my grandmother used to put the Christmas tree in front of it. Oh my gosh, the memories. I'm gonna start crying, guys. It's, you know, my grandmother and I are really close. I grew up at her house. I hung out with her all the time. I talked to her probably like 3 times a week now. I had a lot of trouble with trying to figure this out because it felt like there's way more space than there actually is in this house whenever I was adding redoing the Sims. But I actually think all of this furniture would fit in this space if Mamie wanted me to put it in there for her. So I keep saying grandmother just because that's what people, you know, that's a general term for it, but I've called my grandmother Mimi my whole life, and I still, like, she's in my phone as that. Other people call her Mimi because I call her Mimi. So yeah. And you'll see I add a lot of coastal stuff and a lot of flowers and things like that because those are things that I know she loves, and I feel like if I was going to remodel it, it would be for her or in memory of her. So these are kind of just things that I keep thinking of that remind me of her. I do change that floor, by the way, although I will say, thinking about this, part of the emotion, like, because my husband and I have talked about this before, if we were to like buy it from her and remodel it so that we could move down there or any number of things, I feel like I'd have a hard time removing some of the like stuff that I personally think is horrible, like the wallpaper that's in the bathrooms. I think it's hideous, but I have so many memories of sitting in the bathroom talking to my grandmother, or like, because my grandmother still had for a long time before it got stolen some of my grandfather's aftershave, and like we would both go in there and smell it because we're weirdos like that. But just like we would spend a lot of time looking at the weird shapes that were in the wallpaper and in the flooring, the linoleum, and that was just like, those are things that I'm very much like her, and we're both kind of creative, and those are the things that we spend our time doing. And I don't know how she'll feel about this remodel, honestly, or hearing me talk about it like, as if she was gone, because she'll probably be like, I'm not dead yet, Jesus girl. I had a lot of trouble. I feel like I should have gone with that lighter blue now that I've looked. It kept looking too green to me, so I went for a more navy that kind of ties in a little bit more to some of the other, or the rugs that I did, and I used to kind of tie each room into each other so that there was a little bit more flow added in. I don't know if it worked or not. You guys let me know, but it looks to me way better than I ever expected it to come out as. I do think the size on some of the bedrooms comes across wrong on the Sims. Like I feel like it's just slightly bigger, but I didn't want to go back in and fix it because like whenever I was little, the bed was turned this way. Whenever I became a teenager, we pushed it up against the wall with the headboard back where I'm messing with that particular window, and it's still like it was a queen or king size bed, and it fit both ways just fine in this room with side table space, and the same thing with the office area. But whatever. So we're working on now an outdoor space. I have wanted to do this my whole life. I've wanted to make this patio great. We literally used to go out there and listen to like Jennifer Lopez and all the other like early 2000s Britney Spears and stuff like that, and dance and sing and annoy the crap out of the neighbors on this patio area. And like it's, first of all, it needed a roof. I needed to put that up there, but it has these like cool beams underneath that I think would be awesome to like decorate and just make a little bit nicer. But I've always wanted to have like that little seating area out there for eating in a hot tub, and then like a fire pit, which you can't really do because it's in city limits, but whatever. I finally found that Peacemaker table that I've been looking for this whole time. I was so mad when I finally found that. I don't know why it took so long. It was like it disappeared on me. But we're actually wrapping it up. We're gonna have a little like voiceover walk into the house, and then the screenshots. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It meant a lot to me to make this, so yeah, be nice in the comments. I'm very emotional right now. I kind of feel like crying because, you know, it's Mimi's house, and she's gonna be selling it soon, or eventually we'll have to, you know, sell it for my aunt, because that's just what's gonna happen. So it's just, you know, it's an emotional thing to think about this stuff, and everybody kind of has to. So let me know what you think of it. Be nice though, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Okay, so it turns out that the voiceover that I thought I recorded over this whole fly-in is just gone. I don't know what happened. I still have the visual, I just don't have the audio. So you got to see the front all done. I've got screenshots for you guys because I'm terrible at fly-through, as you can see on here. But this turned out way better than I thought it would, especially because I knew the limitations. But you know, like, oh, I'm so bad at fly-through. I'm so sorry, guys. But I mentioned a couple times in the other video that I got super emotional while doing this. My grandmother means the world to me, so of course it's going to. So I'd love to see or hear from you guys in the comments some good stories about your grandparents or your parents that just make you super happy, and we can share those together. Hope you guys enjoy the screenshots. Here they come.